Welcome back. So I'm still reading the book Belonging, A Culture of Place by the author Bell Hooks. And I'm closing up chapter 4 about the importance of nature to our well-being. And now we're going to talk about how to solve the problem, right? Jumping in. For many years and even now, generations of black folks who migrated north to escape life in the south returned down home in search of a spiritual nourishment, a healing that was fundamentally connected to reaffirming one's connection to nature, to a contemplative life where one could take time, sit on the porch, walk, fish, and catch lightning bugs. If we think of urban life as a location where black folks learned to accept a mind and body split that made it possible to abuse the body, we can better understand the growth of nihilism and despair in the black psyche. And we can know that when we talk about healing that psyche, we must also speak about restoring our connection to the natural world. So I'm going to pause a little. Of course, when you're separated, your mind and your body is separated. That's a sense of disassociation, not being fully in your body. And I am not from down south. I'm from more southern areas, more south, Jamaica. But I know what she's talking about, that when you get home and you're on a beach, you're in the hills, you're just sleeping in your bed. And you can hear the crickets outside and feel the breeze. Oh, it's just something. Continuing, wherever black folks live, we can restore our relationship to the natural world by taking the time to commune with nature, to appreciate the other creatures who share this planet with humans. Even in my small New York City apartment, I can pause to listen to birds sing, find a tree and watch it. We can grow plants, herbs, flowers, vegetables. Those novels by African American writers, women and men, that talk about black migration from the agrarian South to the industrialized North describe in detail the way folks created space to grow flowers and vegetables. Although I come from country people with serious green thumbs, I've always felt that I could not garden. In the past years, I've found that I can do it, that many gardens will grow, that I feel connected to my ancestors when I put a meal on the table of food I grew. I especially love to plant colored greens. They are hardy and easy to grow. So, of course, I'm in New York City, and there are ways to connect with nature. There are parks, there are community gardens. There's even a little space on your windowsill to put a plant there, grow a plant in your office. You have to find a way to connect with nature and heal yourself. Continuing, in modern society, there is also a tendency to see no correlation between the struggle for collective black self recovery and ecological movements that seek to restore balance to the planet by changing our relationship to nature and to natural resources. Unmindful of our history of living harmoniously on the land, many contemporary black folks see no value in supporting ecological movements or see ecology and the struggle to end racism as competing concerns. Recalling the legacy of our ancestors who knew the way we regard land and nature will determine the level of our self regard, black people must reclaim a spiritual legacy where we connect our well being to the well being of the earth. This is a necessary dimension of healing. So there's a quote here, but I'm going to wait to read it and really speak to it. Yes, whenever you talk about, first thing, in a lot of the environmental struggles and the movement, black people were at the front line because they were the first ones that they were trying to dump toxic waste in their backyards. But somehow the movement, as with anything positive, it becomes a white person movement. So we know Greta and we know white people, but then we think black people are not into ecology. And also, it's like the terms that people use to distinguish themselves, you're composting. Well, we've been doing that, like creating compost, doing it without giving the names. Like black people will tell you they'll keep plastic bags for 100 years and they have all the plastic bags they've ever had under the cupboard in the kitchen. That is conserving. That is, they take their cloth bags out. But when you're properly in the ecological movement, because you don't see black people, whenever black people are talking about the earth and loving the earth, some people will say, oh, you're being white. I'm from Jamaica. Nature is just so always there. Taking hikes and being outdoors, that's life to me. That's not white, that's Jamaican. And I'm sure it's the same for people down south who grow stuff. But again, that is the way we're boxed in and prevented from living in our fullness, that we think, yeah, if you don't have air to breathe, fresh air, if you don't have access to good food, your health will kill you before the racism, or your health will compound all the dis-ease that's caused by racism. Now let me read the quote by Barry. Only by restoring the broken connection can we be healed. Connection is health, and what our society does, it's best described from us is how ordinary, how commonly attainable health is. We lose our health and create profitable diseases and dependencies by failing to see the direct connections between living and eating, eating and working, working and loving. In gardening, for instance, one works with the body to feed the body. The work, if it is knowledgeable, makes for excellent food. And it makes one hungry. The work thus makes eating both nourishing and joyful, not consumptive, and keeps the eater from getting fat and weak. This health, wholeness, is a source of delight. Collective Black self-recovery takes place when we begin to renew our relationship to the earth, when we remember the way of our ancestors. When the earth is sacred to us, our bodies can also be sacred to us. So yeah, she talked about this nihilism, like not wanting to exist, so easy to hurt and kill each other, so easy to harm ourselves. Because when you're not connected to the sacredness of your humanity, your body, then it's easy to harm yourself or harm others. And the more we're interacting in spaces like the internet, the less we recognize the humanity in others. So tell me what you think. Thanks so much for listening.